Blackstone Audio presents Skin by Ben Mezrich. This book is read by Patrick Lawlor. 1. 2 hours after midnight, sirens tore through the cinder block walls, shattering the momentary calm. There was the screech of rubber tires against pavement, the ambulances careening to a stop in the receiving circle, and the steady wail was joined by the shouts of paramedics as they unloaded their cargo. A second later, the double doors crashed open, and the vast room seemed to buckle inward as a torrent of stretchers streamed across the tiled floor. "Here we go," someone shouted, and suddenly the emergency room came alive. Bleary-eyed doctors in white coats and pale blue scrubs leapt forward, shouting for chemtrays and surgical consults. Triage nurses in pink uniforms swirled between the stretchers, trailing IV wires and portable crash carts. At first glance, the room seemed gripped by chaos, but in reality, it was a highly controlled, intricate performance. The nurses and doctors played off one another like professional athletes, acting out their roles in kinetic bursts of harmony. Huddled in a corner near the back of the ER, Brad Alger watched the unfolding spectacle with wide eyes. Although he had been on duty for less than 20 minutes, his scrubs were already thick with sweat. Red splotches covered the sleeves of his white doctor's coat, and his high-top Nikes had turned a strange, nearly violet color. His platinum blonde hair rose from his head in unruly locks, like a miniature sunburst. There were heavy bags under his glassy blue eyes, and he looked as though he hadn't slept in months. He rubbed a damp sleeve across his forehead, then quickly stepped aside as a disheveled nurse pushed a crash cart up against the wall next to him. "Christ!" Alger coughed, his voice pitching upward. "It's knee-deep in here. I thought the first salvo was bad, but this is crazy. How many ambulances did they say were coming?" 22. The nurse answered, tossing a pair of blood-spattered gloves toward the floor. "Maybe more. At first they thought there were only 9 cars involved in the accident. Now they say it was more like 13. Alger whistled. 13 cars? At 2 in the morning? This your first Friday night? She had spiky dark hair and kind eyes. Alger guessed she was 30, maybe 35. He felt like a kid next to her, and he tried to take the fearful edge out of his voice. "My internship started on Sunday." The nurse offered a sympathetic smile. "Welcome to New York." She grabbed a clean pair of gloves from the crash cart and moved back into the fray.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?